Hello, and welcome to another Transformers unboxing weekend. Last time I mentioned that I had gone a bit berserk with my online Transformers purchasing, so there's a whole steady stream of guys that should be arriving over the next number of weeks, the first of which arrived at the end of this week, so that's who I'm doing today. I'm planning on the next few to be kind of more regular or minor characters before we build into some really cool ones as the weeks go by, because there are some characters that I'm really looking forward to showing you that I didn't think I would ever have a chance to purchase, but all of a sudden, at least one seller that I've been following suddenly dropped the price on a character, and I'm like, oh, I can't afford to not buy that, right? And then it just kept happening with all these characters that I was looking for, and I'm like, fuck, sooner or later, I've bought them all, you know? So, but it's awesome because I'm getting guys that I can now afford that I normally wouldn't have been able to, and I'm filling out the collection even more, so it's great. But today's unboxing is the most minor of characters, and I don't mean that in a size aspect, but in a relevance to the series aspect. And before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let me just show you who it is. It is the Autobot Skids. Skids is very minor because he only ever appears in 2 episodes over the run of the original G1 Transformers cartoon. He suddenly shows up in one episode as a team that's driving into action, and it's like nobody talks about him, nobody says his name. He has, I think, one speaking line in that episode, and you see him one more time, and that's it, right? So it's just this really weird inclusion into the series that is just kind of unexplained. So I had to look him up just to see, what's he supposed to be all about. And apparently he is a theoretician and a bit of a daydreamer. So sometimes when in vehicle mode, he might crash into other people as he is thinking about other things other than what's going on. But he is quite a capable warrior, despite his tendency to not live in the now, I guess. So I'm going to show you 2 clips from Skids, because why not? Because it's the only 2 clips he has. So the first one is from an episode called it wasn't A Plague of Insecticons, it was called Quest for Survival, but it heavily involved the Insecticons. This is his first appearance, and then his second and final appearance is in the second set of clips, which is from an episode called Triple Takeover, which featured the Decepticon Triple Changers. So here you go.
Hey, is this a farm or a parking lot?
Autobots transform!
They're trying to wreck our picnic! Hey, trucks! Need a light lamp!
I'm burning!
Autobots, retreat! Will you look at that? Now they've got their tailpipes between their legs.
We were outnumbered, Prime, so we disengaged before we received any more casualties.
You did the right thing, Smokescreen.
What are we gonna do?
Don't lose your coolant, Huffer. Cosmos, Bumblebee, and Spike are on the job.
This is Bumblebee calling from Floron 3. Come in.
Go ahead, Bumblebee.
We've got the robotic insecticide, and we're on our way home.
Robotic insecticide?
Prime says the bombs are coming from inside the stadium. We'll start them at the 10-yard line.
Autobots approaching. Assume attack position. No, Trevor, let them through. Let all the Autobots through. I want to take them on personally.
Smokescreen, hoist, come in. I've located the missing Autobots. Turn right. Left. Another left. And dead ahead. Begin camouflage.
Prime was right. Megatron took care of the Decepticons for us.
Yeah, but there's only one great leader in the universe. Have a seat, boss.
Thrones are for Decepticons. Besides, I'd rather roll.
So there you have Skids in his 2 Transformers appearances, his couple of lines that he says. So yeah, that's the entire basis we have to go on for Skids in the original cartoon. So you know as much as I do. Now let's have a look at his G1 toy next. Here we go. I never had his G1 toy, but I knew some people that did, and for what it was worth, I thought it was a pretty good toy. I really liked it, and he's funny because he's kind of this guy that only shows up in a couple of episodes, and he's not that glamorous. I mean, he turns into a friggin' minivan, right? So he's just this really weird yet mysterious character that he's, for only appearing in 2 episodes, he was always, like, I had no problems remembering and all the toys that I've bought, and I better put Skids in there, right? Like, I have no problems remembering him. I never forgot him. Like, he's just, he made a good impression, I guess, for only appearing in a couple of episodes. So, but anyways, here is his X-Transbots version. So let's crack this baby open and see what he looks like. He feels pretty central heavy. I think he might be in van mode to start, which is what I prefer. So, but let's open him up and find out for sure. X-Transbots Skids, or Savant, as he is called. First, we'll work ourselves past the X-Transbots seal of approval here. I just cut my fingernails again. Worst timing as usual. Okay. Oh, he's in styrofoam, not plastic. Interesting. Yes, so there he is in his van mode. I apologize for the dirty ottoman. The cat's been sleeping here, and she loves sleeping out in the sun during the summer, so this has become one of her domains. So, as usual, the X-Transbots character card, transformation booklet, and then as we get into Skids, there he is. Looks like he fits together pretty well, and his tires are actually rubber. A lot of them are just a hard plastic. And then look at that, his mirrors are like little floppy rubbers too. So looks pretty cool though. I like the coloring, I like the design of it. But again, a minivan, right? Like, So glamorous. There we have one blaster. There we have 2 blasters. And there we have this little thing, which I don't think was a thing in the cartoon series. I never noticed it. But a little kind of like almost motorbike thing. Little kickstand and whatnot. Which I noticed these in the pictures when I was looking at buying them online. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how exactly this works, but yeah, pretty cool character considering how minor he is. They did a pretty good job with him, so at least in vehicle mode. So let's get him transformed now and see what he looks like as a bot. So there you have Skids. And overall, this is about the best looking Skids you'll ever see, because there's probably not too many Skids out there. But this is like spot on. This is exactly as he looks in the show. These companies do a really good job of bringing the characters to life. And the little scooter I found out, you'll see in the pictures that it actually goes in the back of his trunk and acts as like the motor, it says. Why the motor would be in the back of the minivan, I don't know, but or maybe they're just calling this thing a motor, like a motorbike or whatever. But either ways, the hatch goes up and it goes in the back, as you can see in those pictures. So his transformation was pretty easy for the most part. There was a couple, if you know the G1 molds, especially the cars like Prowl, Smokescreen, Jazz, this piece right here, the roof piece, it was attached in to the front by one little connection, and they were always the first thing to break. So when it said, oh, turn that down like that, and I could see the things there, holding it there, but it was attached in there really good. So it was one of the first steps in the thing, but I did it as one of the last steps because it didn't want to go, and finally I forced it a bit and it did go. And but overall, the arms are a bit tricky too. Some very different aspects to this transformation compared to other ones I've done. There's a lot of unique little instances during the transformation process that I was like, oh, that's different, that's new, you know. But overall, you know, considering the size of the character and whatever, I thought it was a fairly seamless transformation for the most part. And like I said, it's a perfect Skids. Skid mark. Nobody likes a skid mark. Everybody loves Skids. Toodles. Ho ho ho! Today you have some bonus footage. Recently I acquired something very exciting, super small but very exciting. You know I'm a Transformers fan as a kid, and still to this day I'm also a massive G.I. Joe fan, and I've always wanted a Cobra Rattler. Now I've never been able to get one, and this much later in life when I can possibly collect one, they're a lot of money. So in doing some online searching, just randomly it happened to come up, is a Transformer G.I. Joe crossover, and it's a Cobra Rattler. Son of a bitch, right? Decepticon Viper. So I just wanted to kind of throw this in here. Like, it looks like it's been through the ringer. But I was really excited when I found this, and I was like, well, I have to get it. Like, it's probably the only Cobra Rattler I'm ever gonna own at this rate. So this is an actual Hasbro product, I think. Not the masterpiece transbots, whatever that I've been getting. So he comes with a bit of a card as well. That's kind of a common theme, eh? I'm sure his transformation isn't going to be that tricky based on the size of him, so let's have a look-see. Areas in robot mode. Decepticon Viper. Here I am getting the instructions out. I could probably figure it out on my own, but... Okay. So, we turn the head around. And do something here. What the hell is this? I'm not even sure what that means. Cobra Rattler, Let's go like that. There's something to do with the head though. I'm supposed to pull it up or something? Ah, here we go. That? Aha. Oh, and look. Landing gear. Stick these together somehow, like that. Those go down. As do those. And there you have a Cobra Rattler. So this thing's small. It seems a bit loose. Like, look at this thing. So I'm wondering if this was like a return or something. Oh, seeing that just falls right the hell off. Or maybe they're just built that crappy. But either way, it was only a few bucks. Like I said, I'll never own a Cobra Rattler otherwise. So, yeah, there you have it. After Skids, it's a bit of a disappointment, but it's still pretty awesome. So, until next time.